Hey guys, my name's Shay Ryan Douglas from the Earth Heroes production team, and today we're just opening up the conversation with these beautiful human beings from the Earth Care Collective. We've got David, Kaylee, and Tennille, who's going to share with us all some really exciting news about what's coming up with the Earth Care Collective and the Earth Fund. This is very exciting, so I'm really looking forward to hearing all about this. So David, would you like to introduce yourself, maybe share a little bit about Earth Care Collective and what the Earth Fund is?
The Earth Fund is a bank account for planet Earth, and we came up with this idea. It's been on the back burner for a couple of years. Didn't really take the idea too seriously, but with the last couple of years and everything that's been happening, it's started to feel more and more like actually this is something that we need to see in the world. We just sort of thought, how could we actually make this a reality or a possibility, and what would Earth spend money on? Why would Earth need a bank account? And we really need to bring our connection back to the land. We're starting to reconnect with each other, you know, in a personal capacity in our communities, in festivals, our local networks, but with everything that's going on in the world, having a sort of a macroscopic look, it's very cost prohibitive to be able to want to leave, you know, the society, buy a block of land somewhere and set up, you know, some sort of sustainable ethic, whether it be permaculture or synthetic farming or regenerative agriculture, or, you know, whatever people are inspired to do ecologically, environmentally, you know, to start to turn the tide back against, you know, some of the deforestation and, you know, some of the depletion of natural resources we're seeing globally. Everyone's talking about this, and I got to this point where I felt all the words, all the talk that has needed to happen around the world has already happened. It's now time to do it. But a lot of us have this feeling like we would like to do something, but we all feel, one, we're disconnected from, you know, any real ability to, you know, to have a positive influence, and where do we start? You know, I mean, the world's problems are just too big for all of us. You know, we can't carry those world's problems on our back. So Earth Fund has come out of the ground, and that seed has now sprouted to say to everybody, actually, if we all invested just a short amount of money, and there's no limit to what people can donate to that, but when people say, how much do I donate? I just say just enough that you feel is a gratitude offering to the earth, just to say thank you for supporting us, and thanks for supporting our human journey through hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and just to basically offer that gratitude as a one-time donation or a, you know, ongoing donation. And then people are saying, well, what is that money being spent on? Well, at the moment, we're actually not spending the money. This is a fund that's going to accumulate, and it'll get to the point where we'll have a fund manager come on board, and they will be able to invest that money strategically, ethically, ecologically, and the return on that money will be exclusively used to purchase land, and then that will then in turn house and support ecological projects all over the world. So essentially what we're doing is building a bridge from this old paradigm of, you know, our social structure and the Western world and the way we do things into something that's far more equitable for not only just us, but all life forms, all ecology, the whole biosphere, and is going to regenerate the earth for many generations to come. So that's the short view.
Awesome, David. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's really exciting and positive news to be sharing with everyone. I'm really keen to hear from Kaylee or Tennille about what's been the inspiration. I know you ladies have been diving deep into this work with Organic Motion and the Earth Care Collective and all the project that you've been doing through your life. I'd just like to hear from you around, and I'm curious, what's been the main inspiration for you to get this project and initiative off the ground?
Hey, yeah. Well, when I first met David, it was one of the first things he told me about, this wonderful conversation he'd had with his son one day about the possibility, what if Earth had a bank account? And yeah, it was such a simple concept at first, and I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. But the more we talked about it, the more we thought about it, it just seems so simple and so powerful. What if we did? Now, that's what's stopping most of us from really having a huge impact is our financial capabilities, really. What if we had put all our contributions together and were able to actually make a collective decision as to how to move forward and help the earth? So for me, that was the biggest draw, the biggest motivation, just the potential for this, and not just our financial collective, but our energy and our passions to get in there and build something, be able to actually make large scale epic change that can actually have an impact. And for our future generations, that's a big one for me. That whole system, everyone working together and learning and growing together. That's what I want to see more of in the world.
Lovely, Kaylee. Thanks for sharing. That's so exciting. And Tanil, if you wanted to share, just unmute yourself there. And potentially, I know that the channels are all now open and the donation center is active because you have so generously donated, as have I. And how can others also contribute to this positive funding opportunity?
Okay, unmiked. So there's a very easy way that people can donate. We've got an awesome platform called DonorBox with a link I think is provided in this in this stream, and you can donate from as little as $1. So what we're just, if you can imagine, if each person on this earth was able to donate just $1, we would have a fund that means we would be able to buy back land, marginal land, and regenerate the earth and set up communities, which we've been all visioning, and put that aside in trust for the next 7 generations. So I think this is a really huge opportunity for the people who are really considering earth care at the moment as a solution for what problems we're seeing in the world. What excites me the most about this project is we have a huge amount of capable people on this earth right now with the skills to regenerate the earth and with social skills for permaculture in action in communities. What we haven't had is a platform and a way for people to come together and purchase land in a way that's done safely through a fund manager, without all of the who owns what. It belongs to the Earth Fund. It belongs to the next 7 generation. We all have access and an intent to create community and people communities, but also the diversity, the community of Earth, all of the animals and plants to grow food and to come back to a more earth-based lifestyle in our modern times. And if you can imagine even $1 per person, we all put that in. I've seen lots of donations come through already. I know this is our first real Facebook Live, but just through conversations, there's been an incredible amount of donations come forth. So there is a lot of energy and people are really connecting into what the possibilities are for this particular project. And if you can imagine, if we have the capacity and the skills of some incredible people who are on the team and who are joining the team to regenerate. So we've been looking, look, there's syntropic, there's permaculture. It's been originated in the 70s, but it's been growing. It's like mycelium underneath the ground. And we've got really skilled people all over the earth right now who are waiting for access to land to be able to regenerate and build these communities that we're visioning. So if we can look and matrix, like we're setting up these properties, these landscapes everywhere, regenerating, creating a place for refuge and for our future generations, we're going to have the capacity to have them all over the globe. So that's really exciting in my view, and I'm sure a lot of people can connect to that. But I would love for people to comment and share what they feel are what opportunities and what they're excited about the potential of the earth having the capacity to have its own bank, so people as custodians, what we can do when we're buying back the land and regenerating. What does that mean to you? Please comment and let us know what are you visioning happening in these places, in these landscapes where we have this put in trust.
Yeah, awesome, Neil. That's a really good point that I wanted to touch on as well. Is what I love about this platform the most is the collaborative space that it's creating. So keen to hear from everyone. We need everyone. We don't know the answers to how this is going to work. You know, we need everyone's input and trial and error and research and what people have had successful in the past. You know, we need to hear these things from everyone. And I just love that we are creating a space where everyone can come together and discuss this and look at what is going to work, and we can test things out. The website that we're creating at the moment, if you have a look, the webpage for Earth Fund it's not finished. We haven't actually officially launched yet, but I don't think it's ever going to be really finished. It's going to be a constant open platform for everyone. And there's questions coming in, and we're so keen to hear the questions. We've got our own questions that we're putting out to everyone as well, that we want everyone to have a look at and consider, and just start looking at solutions together. It's a beautiful thing. I'm really excited.
Yeah, thanks, ladies. That's so good. I just want to acknowledge here, we got a couple of people tuning in: Samantha, Solomon, Hey Jabaru, and Sue. They're all tuning in, and they're giving us suggestions around natural and organic food security and educational programs, which Earth Care are doing. Suggestions like the Nature Kids programs from Samantha. This is fantastic. And what is the best way that people can stay updated, David? Like, how do people contribute if they want to be a part of these experiences? How do people get involved?
The best way people can get involved so far is just to make a really small donation and share it with all your friends and family. It's probably the biggest way we're going to get this out, this mycelium network spreading out through the world. This belongs to everybody. This has been my idea for a couple of years now. And now that we've got this up and running, it's not mine anymore. This belongs to humanity. And I want this to be a collective action. And, you know, we can all do some small thing. Even if we don't think we have that capability, that small donation is literally going to change the world and the way we do things. There's so many different ways you can get involved. You can take ownership in this project. You know, this is going to reflect you and what capacity you want to demonstrate. If you've, you know, not really been working too well in the world, like as a kid, I really didn't want to go to school. I suffered a pretty huge depression in my early 20s. It took me a long time to figure out that I was trying to kick around in a world that didn't really want to know me. And my only contribution was to get a job and start earning money and just go to work like everyone else and just pay your bills and just fall in line. And so we're all trying to make the best of a not great situation, but we're all sitting here watching the planet go down the tubes. So surely there's got to be more that we can do than just sit down and watch this ecological disaster unfold. So this is just a completely turnaround on the way we've been doing things. I just sort of been thinking for a while, you know, if we want to see change in the world, it's got to come from a grassroots sustainability. It's got to come from our community. We actually have to kind of steal the ball, so to speak, or intercept, and we need to run up that field and score that try. You know, we've all been waiting for change in the system to reflect real humane concern on a global and an environmental and ecological level. And I'm pleased to say that I finally feel like it's actually us that are going to do it. We're going to come together, and this is a plan for everybody. So I think the best way to get involved is to really just touch in with your intrinsic gifts and the things that you love. One of the things that I was revealed in my depression was, in my childhood, music and nature were the two things, the cornerstones in my childhood, that served as a beacon for me to find my way back out of that depression, and started to really make me feel like I was starting to get to know who I am. And that is an ongoing journey. And I'm pretty sure most of the people out there can relate to that on some level. And I just want people to start to feel like there is another system now growing that we can belong to, and that does have our best interest at heart and actually wants to get to know our unique gifts rather than trying to forcefully push onto you, what we think you should be or think you should do. So welcome everyone to a new way of doing things and a new way of being. And a lot of people have been saying for a long time that this financial system is going to collapse. And, that's been talk that's been on the horizon for over a decade. So I thought, while it's still there, let's actually use it to do something positive. And maybe this could actually start to compost that old system.
Fantastic, David. Thank you so much for sharing that really personal story. Definitely touched my heart. And thank you, Kaylee and Tennille, as well, for joining in this conversation and initiating this Earth Fund. Remember, guys, you can also contribute to being a part of the solution of the regeneration today. Just follow the links in the comments. If you have any questions, please ask us. We're happy to open up the conversation and chat with you and make this a collaborative effort together. So thanks so much for your time, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it far and wide with all your friends and family, and have the most wonderful day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sherry, for always being there and supporting us. And also, the donation is just the beginning if there's of a way that people can get involved, memberships, sponsorships. And then once we get these projects up and running, there's going to be endless amounts of inlets, of ways to get in and get your hands dirty.
Love it.
Just
so
before
great.
Possible way.
Before we go, I just wanted to thank you guys. I wanted to thank Earth Care Collective. This couldn't have happened without you guys. It would have happened very differently, and I'm really glad it's happened this way. And this is just a token of the collaborative effort that's just going to further unfold. You guys really heard and felt this idea, and you had the framework, and you've done all the work in the background to make Earth Care Collective an organisation able to actually handle this project. That deserves amazing recognition and gratitude. And thank you for providing that platform so we can all work together and continue to go out and do some amazing things. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you all soon.
See you later.